like clock, I can't stop. Fuck around, make my 40 pop. No popcorn, I pop pistols. Reaming my body, clothing no issue. Bitch, you look sick, you need a tissue. You drop a body, I just might bless you. I'm metrosexual.
What is going on, guys? It's Wraith here, back with another video. Now in today's video, I'm going to be going over why you're not improving at Fortnite and what you can do to actually help improve and kind of get over that plateau of why you're not improving or why you're not getting better at Fortnite. Now if you're interested, make sure you smash the like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and make sure you use creator code WraithFN in the item shop. And quick second before we get in the video, a lot of you guys have been asking why I use my gameplay sometimes and why I don't use it other times. And the reason is right now my PC is getting fixed, so I'm using one of my friends', so I don't have any of my own gameplay because I'm not actually able to play right now. And also, even if I do have my PC, sometimes I like using other people's gameplay if they have a small channel or small following, and then I always leave their link in the description down below to try and help them out a little bit, maybe give them a little bit of promotion. So for example, this guy, if you want to see his channel, it's going to be in the link in the description down below, so make sure you check him out. And yeah, let's get right into today's video. So the first thing I did wrong, as well as a lot of people I see playing Fortnite do wrong as well, is not learning from your mistakes, not fixing the bad habits you have. So now there's a ton of things that you could be, for example, a bad habit. For example, if you're on height and sometimes you always drop down or go for the Tfue shot and just don't build. Or for example, you jump around while shooting instead of crouching, or whatever it is. It could honestly be anything. For some reason, you just have the bad habit of just keep doing it. Kind of like those examples I just said. I had a really bad problem of whenever I was height in a fight, I would just give it up and drop down and try and get that crazy shot in, or try and get a good heavy shot in when they just pop me when I'm dropping down for like 130, and then obviously I wouldn't be doing that well for the rest of the fight. So a couple things that you can do to kind of isolate your problems and figure it out and how to actually improve them. And the first thing I'm going to say is, this is an easier method, is think about how you die every time you die. What did you do wrong and what could you improve? So for example, like if we're using the one where I drop out of height, did you drop down from height? Why did you drop down from height? And try and remember that for the next game. Now obviously you're probably going to make the same mistake again. I know, try your best not to make it, but there's no guarantee that you're not going to be able to make the same mistake. For example, if I dropped over height, just saying, oh my god, I dropped from the height, isn't going to fix it, right? But the more you do it, the more you continuously think in your head every time you die for the same mistake, the more likely you're not going to make that same mistake. So after 6 or 7 times of dropping from height, I'm like, hey, whenever I'm height, I'm not dropping. And then the next time I got in a fight and I was high ground, I wouldn't drop on the person because I remembered after times and times and times of dying from that, not to do that. So just think about it, try your best to think about why you died and isolate the problem. Now, a little bit more advanced tip you can do there is every single time you die, figure out what the problem is and actually write it down on a piece of paper. I did this. I have lists and lists. I have like 10 different pages of just mistakes I was doing, and trust me, there are tons of different mistakes on there, but the more I wrote something down, the more I remembered it for when I was actually in a fight. So for example, if I made just a normal simple window edit instead of like faking an edit or doing a top edit or whatever it is, and he just pumped me super easily, the more times I wrote that down, the more times I would stop doing it, right? It kind of works like that. The more you think about something you're doing wrong, the less of a chance you have to do it again. That's a quick, simple way to actually help stop like doing the same mistakes over and over again. And hopefully those fix a little bit of your problem. And now let's go into the next one. So the next one I find a lot of people are doing is trying to play as a better player than who they are. So kind of what I mean about that is there's always new crazy high ground retakes, always crazy edits, or always crazy like edits you can do on a person or box fighting or whatever kind of tricks you can do that gives you advantage of the fight. But the problem with it is it requires dozens of hours put into creative or dozens of hours practicing the same move over and over to be able to do it like pretty easily. So for example, if you're trying a new phase sway high ground retake, probably not the best idea to try it in a game first time, or after you've only done it 10 times in creative, probably not the best idea to do it in an actual game, right? The more hours you put into it in creative, the more hours you practice it, the more like normal it's going to feel for you. So for example, if you're trying to be a little bit better than you are and try and do that phase away high ground retake instantly in a game, it's probably not going to work. I'm sorry to say, but that's just how it goes. It's probably not going to do that well for you if you're trying something new that you've never done before or you've done so minimal. A lot of the times you'll see pros like Ghost Bizzle or Tfue, they keep their game very simple. They don't have all these crazy high ground retakes or all these crazy window peeks to do to people. They keep their game very simple and rely on their skill alone and IQ to actually kill people and win more fights. Sure, it's good to have all those kind of crazy high ground retakes or crazy edits or whatever we're talking about, but it's not like, just because you have them doesn't guarantee you're going to win more fights, right? So it's super, super important to actually be able to do them before you put them in the game. Don't just think, oh, I'm good enough, I can just do this first try. Don't do that. If you're going to do something crazy, practice it before you do it, and then yeah, sure, try and go ahead with it, because then you might actually get it. But if you're just going to do it right off the bat without practicing, you're probably going to end up screwing up and dying. Now the next thing, this is honestly one of the biggest things I see is why people aren't improving. They'll be like, okay, well, I'm grinding 9 hours of creative every single day, 9 hours of Kovacs, and for some reason I'm just not improving. The reason for that is you're bored. You're not thinking about it. You're just going through the motions. You're being a robotic player. So now what I mean about that is, for example, if you're just playing arena solos, and let's say you've played for 5 hours already today, or you had a long day at work, long day at school, and it's like 1 a.m. or 12 o'clock, right? Probably pretty tired, probably worn out, or you're probably tired of the game because you played for so long, right? So for example, if you're on your first 3 or 4 games and you're paying attention, you're ready to go, you're trying edits, you're trying things, not like crazy edits, but like normal edits, you're being creative, things like that. Sure, you're going to be learning, but once you get tired and once you start like, oh my god, this game's kind of getting a little bit boring, you're going to stop learning and you're just going to be going through the motions. And that's a really bad thing to do, because if you're trying to grind and get better and you're in creative doing Storm Wars, but you're not really paying attention, you're watching YouTube on the side, or you're not really thinking about it, you're just doing like, okay, I need to land, pick up a gun, shoot someone, kill someone, or die, redo the game, right? Doesn't sound that more exciting, doesn't sound that fun, and you're not going to improve with that mentality. You have to be focused, and I know it's hard going through an 8-hour session and being like keeping into it the entire time, but a way to kind of help you do that is try different things. So now what I mean about that is switch things up. So for example, if you're just trying to grind solo arena, try a little bit of duos arena, do a little bit of solo squads here or there, do a little bit of Storm Wars. If you're grinding Kovacs, maybe put on music in the background, or play for 3 hours, take a break, watch a little bit of Netflix, or play a little bit of arena, whatever, and then go back to it. If you're just doing a straight 8-hour session, it's really, really difficult to keep like your mentality going the entire time and feeling super confident and actually improve. So take little breaks here or there, try something else, and it'll help you actually in the long run. You'll help improve, it'll be more fun for you, and just everything and overall basically will be better, right? So it's very, very important to switch things up and try different things. For example, if you're just playing pubs and you're getting bored of that, or you're not really paying attention, land somewhere else. If you land somewhere like tilted and you just keep dying, you're getting frustrated, and you're not learning because you're frustrated, try landing somewhere a little bit more isolated. If you're landing isolated, try landing somewhere like tilted, for example. Now the next thing I'm going to talk about is don't stop practicing. Now what I mean about this is a lot of people, once they get pretty good or comfortable, they just kind of chill. So for example, one of my friends was a very, very good Fortnite player, and then he just kind of stopped practicing his build, stopped practicing his aim, and just started playing a little bit more squads, a little bit more play style, like chill play style, and eventually caught up to him. Everyone else was putting in the hours, they were getting better, the meta was getting better, the average player got better, and my buddy would be like, okay, well, this game's not fun anymore because I'm not doing as good. Well, if you want to stick good and you want to continue to be good and be able to destroy people, you're going to have to continue practicing. Sure, if you're just playing the game for fun, then you don't have to practice, but if you want to win, and even if you're playing the game for fun but you want to win, you're going to have to probably practice. Because if you're just chilling there, not really doing anything, well, thousands of other people are putting in the time, they're going to overpass you eventually, and the average player is going to get better over time. So if you're just chilling, not really doing anything, then yeah, no offense, but someone's eventually going to pass you. There's not really anything you can do. Now sure, you don't have to grind 24/7 if you just want to be a casual player. You don't have to play 24/7 practicing. Just try and play like 20 minutes a day of aim trainers, 20 minutes a day of building, and then 20 minutes of editing. That's only an hour a day. Sure, if you can only play for an hour, then cut it down to like 5 to 10 minutes. Obviously, the more you can, the better. But if you're playing for 4 to 5 hours, take like an hour or 30 minutes just to practice get normal, get used to it, practice your aim, practice your building, and trust me, you will feel way more confident. The game will be way more fun if you're winning, because if you're dying every single game, not really that fun. Like, unless you enjoy dying, then I don't really know why you're playing the game. But yeah, trust me, very, very important to keep practicing and don't just settle with how you are. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, make sure you comment what I can do for a future video. I try my best to reply to every comment, and make sure you're using creator code WraithFN in the item shop, would support me so much. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Have a good one, you guys. Peace out.